More than 5,000 actors went out for the role of Edward Cullen, including Dave Franco, Jamie Campbell-Bower, Schitt's Creek's Dustin Milligan, and Michael Welch. However, Henry Cavill was Mayer's first option, but was extremely old by the time the film came along. He was considered for the role of Carlisle, who is the Cullen family patriarch, but the final four contenders were Robert Pattinson, Ben Barnes, Shiloh Fernandez, and Jackson Rathbone, and they were all brought to Hardwick's residence in California to test opposite Stewart. While many fans know Scott Eastwood as legendary actor Clint Eastwood's charming son, but you might have seen him in The Outpost, Gran Torino, and The Longest Ride. Scott Eastwood has also appeared in many of his father, Hollywood icon Clint Eastwood's films over the years, but one of his most famous roles has been in The Suicide Squad. In the 2016 film, the actor depicted the character of Lieutenant G.Q. Edwards in the DC Extended Universe. He was a great soldier who met his untimely loss at the end of the movie when he planted the bomb at Incubus's feet. Because of GQ's proximity to the bomb, he seems to have been killed in the blast, but fans still remember his character quite fondly. The actor recently revealed that he had originally auditioned for the role of Edward Cullen in Twilight. At the time, he believed it was too bit in a typical movie, but the actor really thinks differently now. The actor reflected on his belief about Twilight, sharing he didn't think much about it due to its genre and didn't work hard to get the role. The actor auditioned for the leading role of Edward Cullen, one of the main characters in author Stephenie Meyer's vampire romance novels. Scott disclosed that he didn't pay entire attention to the role and never believed it would turn out to be a huge success. He said he doesn't think he really tried all that hard. Then the film turns into 7 movies, and Robert Pattinson has made $2 quadrillion. Robert Pattinson made more than a pretty penny thanks to his role and breakout character in the movies. For the first installment of Twilight, the actor earned $2 million for his role and went to make $80 million for the last 2 films. The Twilight series has earned more than $3.3 billion worldwide since its release and was instrumental in making Robert Pattinson's career successful. If Scott Eastwood has taken on the role of Edward Cullen, there's no reason why he might not have been Batman today. If you are liking this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Now let's continue. Back when the Twilight movies were being cast, it looked like every fan in the world had the perfect opinion for the lead roles. Edward Cullen was going to be featured all throughout with Bella, meaning that the folks casting the movie required to hit the mark here or risk it all falling apart before it even got going. Author Stephenie Meyer liked none other than Henry Cavill to play Edward. Interestingly, Meyer opened up about the casting process and about her input on the movie. Despite being the person who wrote the books, the studio was not that interested in her statements on important topics. Meyer said, "My opinions on the film matter to no one. I have no influence on what goes on with the movie at all. No one is going to ask who I think should star in Twilight." Even though she felt like her voice would not be heard, Meyer would still lay out her dream casting on her website. Not only did she pick Edward, but she also cast an actress for Bella. Meyer explained the only actor she has ever seen who she thinks could come close to pulling off Edward Cullen is Henry Cavill. The most disappointing thing for her is losing her perfect Edward. Henry Cavill is now 24 years old. Let us have a moment of quiet to mourn. Stephenie Meyer was pretty upfront about her desire to have Henry Cavill play Edward Cullen, but this never came to pass. Not only that, but Cavill was not even addressed to play the character by anyone involved with the movies. When speaking to MTV, Cavill said that he has heard this, but he hasn't heard from Stephenie. He hasn't spoken to her personally, and he hasn't spoken to the producers. When he has heard or peers together from different sources, is that Stephenie had seen him in whatever jobs he had done previously and was probably perfect then, but then the damages of time had taken their toll. Despite being too old to play the vampire love interest of the teenage Bella Swan, Meyer still had a recommendation for the filmmaker: cast him as Carlisle. Carlisle is an older character that might have been a bit too old for what movie makers saw in Henry Cavill. While Cavill wasn't a youngster anymore, it was clear that the studio supported an older actor to take on the role of Carlisle. Even though Stephenie Meyer did not get to see her dream Edward come to fulfillment, there was another actor in the wings who would take this golden chance and make the most of it. With that being said, it's time to end our today's video. press the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stuff. Peace out!